Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Logic Medico. Today's topic for presentation is larynx, the cartilages of larynx mainly. So this larynx, what is the location of this larynx? Obviously in the neck. Which part of the neck? The anterior part of the neck. Which part of the anterior aspect? The lower and anterior aspect of the neck opposite to C3 to C6 vertebra is the correct answer. So the extent of larynx is C3 to C6 vertebra in adults, while in child the neck is really short. So the larynx will be as high as C1 vertebra, C1 to C4 vertebra, C4 cervical, okay. First cervical to fourth cervical vertebra in children, while in adults it is third to sixth cervical vertebra. The function of the larynx is mainly phonation, that is voice production. It is also a part of the respiratory passage, so it helps in filtering the dust particle, okay. And the mucus which traps the dust, the cilia will beat the mucus towards the throat, so thereby we clear our throat every day morning of the dust particles. It also acts as a protective sphincter. The epiglottis especially acts as a protective sphincter. Whenever you swallow some food or saliva into your esophagus, it will go, but not into your larynx or into the trachea, okay. Next, the framework of the larynx is mainly consisting of this hyoid bone, but mainly the cartilages of the larynx form the skeleton of the larynx. The cartilages of larynx are totally 9 in number, out of which 3 are paired and 3 are unpaired. 3 are paired. So why they are unpaired? They are present in midline, therefore they are unpaired. They are the thyroid cartilage, the cricoid cartilage, and the epiglottis. So this is the epiglottis, okay. You can see that from front profile, you can see just the tip. This is from behind, okay, epiglottis. This is the thyroid cartilage. This is the cricoid cartilage, okay. So, and the paired cartilages are arytenoid, this pyramidal shape one, arytenoid, corniculate, and cuneiform, okay. These are the cartilages of larynx. I repeat, unpaired are thyroid, cricoid, epiglottis, and the paired are arytenoid, corniculate, and cuneiform. So let's see that. This is the anterior profile of the larynx. This is the epiglottis, this is the thyroid cartilage, this is the cricoid cartilage, and these are the tracheal rings. Connecting the cricoid to the thyroid is a cricothyroid membrane. Connecting thyroid to hyoid is thyrohyoid membrane. This is the epiglottis seen from behind. It's connected to the inner surface of the thyroid cartilage by thyroepiglottic ligament. This is the arytenoid, on the top of it, corniculate and cuneiforms are there. Okay, they will be there within this fold called as aryepiglottic fold. So let's see what is this. Is a cut section. This is seen from behind. Okay, so this larynx especially has got this projection vocal process. This vocal process will have a ligament called as vocal ligament. So thereby these vocal cords or the fold of mucous membrane on this vocal ligament vibrates to produce the sound or the noise or the speech. Okay. The hyoid bone is the framework on which the larynx is anchored. The hyoid bone has got one body and one smaller projection called lesser cornu and one bigger projection called greater cornu of the hyoid bone. Okay. So this hyoid bone is the framework upon which the entire larynx is anchored, and the membrane name is thyrohyoid membrane. Coming to one by one cartilage, thyroid cartilage. It is the largest cartilage of all. It is made up of 2 lamina. Each of these lamina is quadrangular in shape, has got an anterior margin, posterior margin, superior and inferior margin. The anterior margin of each, the right and left thyroid laminas, will unite in the midline to form the Adam's apple or the laryngeal prominence. The angle is approximately 90 degree in males and 120 degrees in female. That is a cut section. The angle, you can see this angle from inside now. That is 120, more obtuse in female but more acute in male. Therefore, the difference in voice between male and female. The superior border is attached to hyoid bone by thyrohyoid membrane. The inferior border is attached to cricoid by cricothyroid membrane. The posterior border is attached to the muscles of the larynx. So this is the details of the further finer detail. There will be a notch above, there is a notch below superior thyroid and inferior thyroid notch. There is one projection above superior cornu, one projection below inferior cornu. These are the muscles which are attached to this oblique line of thyroid cartilage, thyrohyoid, sternohyoid, and inferior constrictor of pharynx. Come to the next cartilage, cricoid cartilage. Cricoid cartilage is the ring shaped cartilage. Cricoid means ring like. It is present just below the thyroid cartilage. This cricoid cartilage, anteriorly it is narrow, it's called the arch of cricoid cartilage. Posteriorly it's broad, it's called the lamina of cricoid cartilage. Inside there is a cavity. From this cavity it enters into the tracheal cavity. Okay, trachea. Below this it's like a well. Okay, below that there will be tracheal cavity. Upper margin of the cricoid cartilage is attached to the thyroid cartilage by cricothyroid membrane. Lower border is attached to trachea, cricotracheal membrane. Upon this lamina of cricoid cartilage, there will be arytenoid cartilage. It will be sitting, which we'll see later. Next, epiglottis. This leaf-like structure is called as epiglottis. It is on the inside of the thyroid cartilage. The epiglottis will be there. It has got a stalk below, upper free margin, and two lateral margins. The lateral margins are attached to arytenoid cartilage by aryepiglottic fold of mucous membrane. There is an anterior surface of epiglottis which will be facing the tongue, the posterior surface of epiglottis which will be facing the laryngeal inlet. Okay. So this is the same thing. This is the anterior profile, posterior profile, and this is the side profile of epiglottis. Okay. So this epiglottis is attached to the arytenoid cartilage by one fold of mucous membrane called aryepiglottic fold. Okay, this aryepiglottic fold forms the boundary of laryngeal inlet. Laryngeal inlet is bounded anteriorly by epiglottis, posteriorly by arytenoid cartilage, on either side by aryepiglottic fold of mucous membrane. Coming to the three paired cartilages, the first and foremost is the arytenoid, which is the important of the three. The arytenoid cartilage is pyramidal in shape. The meaning of arytenoid is pyramid-like. It has got an apex pointing upwards and the base pointing downwards. The base will be sitting on the cricoid cartilage. There are three surfaces. The medial surface of one arytenoid faces the medial surface of the other. The lateral surface will face outwards. The posterior surface will face backward. So these are the three surfaces: the medial, the lateral, and the posterior surface. While the surface, there is a projection forward, it's called the vocal process. This vocal process will be towards the thyroid cartilage. And from here there will be one ligament, vocal ligament, and it forms a fold on that. It's called vocal fold. This is very important. Vocal process of arytenoid cartilage. The sideward projection is called as muscular process. This muscular process, all the muscles of the larynx will be attached to this. So when this muscular process moves forward, the vocal process will move medially. When the muscular process moves backward, the vocal process moves laterally, because it is a single piece of cartilage. Got it? The next two cartilages are corniculate and cuneiform cartilage. This corniculate cartilage is called so because it's like a corn or a horn-like structure. Okay, corniculate. Therefore, it's called. This cuneiform is like a wedge shape or like a pastry, like a wedge, like a piece of cake. These two cartilages are present within the fold of mucous membrane called as aryepiglottic fold, from arytenoid to epiglottis. It gives strength to the aryepiglottic fold, so that when there is a deglutition, when there is swallowing, there will be approximation of both the aryepiglottic folds, and these act like an anchoring point for that. Okay. The other name of corniculate cartilage is cartilage of Santorini. The other name of cuneiform cartilage is cartilage of Risberg. Okay. Coming to the ligaments and membranes of the larynx. There are so many ligaments and membranes. Coming to the extrinsic ligaments and membranes, very easy. Thyroid to upper margin of the thyroid to the inner surface of the upper margin of hyoid, that is called thyrohyoid membrane. This thyroid membrane gives access to superior laryngeal vessel, that is artery and vein, and internal laryngeal nerve. Whenever someone creates joke, when you are drinking water, you will get cough, right? That is because of this nerve, internal laryngeal nerve. Then there is one ligament from here, cricoid to thyroid, cricothyroid membrane of the ligament. Then from here, cricoid to trachea, cricotracheal ligament. Inner surface of thyroid to the inner surface of epiglottis, thyroepiglottic ligament. Inner surface of hyoid to the anterior surface of epiglottis, hyoepiglottic ligament. I repeat, thyrohyoid membrane, cricothyroid membrane, cricotracheal membrane, thyroepiglottic ligament, hyoepiglottic ligament. These are the extrinsic ligaments. Coming to the intrinsic ligament and the membranes. See, there will be two membranes on the inner side of the thyroid and cricoid cartilage. They are the cricovocal membrane and the quadrangular membrane. Cricovocal membrane begins from the cricoid cartilage, the upper margin of cricoid cartilage. It goes upwards and medially. If you put your both the hands in front of your face, like creating a inverted cone, like that. That is cricovocal membrane. The upper margin of the cricovocal membrane gets thickened to form a vocal ligament. It is upon this ligament, this membrane and ligament are all modifications of connective tissue. Okay, so the vocal ligament is covered by a fold of mucous membrane, and that is called as vocal fold. Okay, so this is cricovocal membrane. Come to the quadrangular membrane. This quadrangular membrane is attached to the outer margin of the epiglottis and to the anterior aspect of this arytenoid cartilage. It has got 4 angles, therefore it's called quadrangular membrane. This quadrangular membrane is like if you place your hand in such a way, your wrist comes together but the fingers are apart. That is how it is. Both the hands you have to place. Your wrists are up closer towards one another but the fingers are apart. Okay. So if you do that, that is a quadrangular membrane. Okay. So the lower margin of this quadrangular membrane gets thickened and they are closer to one another. It's called as vestibular ligament. Okay. Next, this same thing, quadrangular membrane, and this one cricovocal membrane. The lower margin of quadrangular membrane is called as vestibular ligament. The upper margin of the cricovocal membrane is called as vocal ligament. Come on to the mucous membrane of the larynx. If you throw a mucous membrane on the interior of the larynx, that has got like this. It has got an hourglass appearance. It's broader above, it's getting narrow now. After this narrow point, again it will be broader. So totally it will be like a hourglass appearance. Okay. So this portion of the larynx, which is broader and above the glottic area, where the vocal fold is there, it's called glottic area. It's called supraglottic area. Below this area, where it's again broader, that will be called as infraglottic area, where the vocal cords are there, and that area is called as glottic area. The slit which we can see here is called as rima glottidis. Rima glottidis. Okay. So same thing, much better clarity you can see. This area which is above the vocal cord region is called as supraglottic area. At the level of vocal cord, glottic area. Below this level is called as infraglottic area. What we have to note here is this is the vestibular fold, this area, and this is the vocal fold. The junction between the two, there is one gap. This gap is called the sinus of the larynx or the ventricle of the larynx. So this is more clearly visualized here. This is a quadrangular membrane. Okay. This is the cricovocal membrane like this. Okay. Between the two there is a gap. In this gap, can you see this outpouching? This outpouching is called as vestibule of the larynx or the ventricle of the larynx, also called sinus of the larynx. It has got rich amount of mucus. The vocal cord, since we are speaking from that time, there can be wear and tear in this. The epithelium is stratified squamous epithelium. So there can be dryness here. Okay. To prevent the dryness, the nature has provided rich amount of mucus gland in this ventricle or the vestibule of the larynx. So what happens? This mucus is constantly showered onto this area. So when it's showered onto this area, the dryness of that particular part is prevented. It is lined by, the vocal cords are lined by stratified squamous epithelium. The entire respiratory tract is lined by ciliated columnar epithelium, pseudostratified ciliated columnar with goblet cell. But here, this area, vocal cord, it's a wear and tear ligament. It is stratified squamous epithelium. So this larynx, in summary, is divided into, because of this cartilages, the orientation of ligament, membrane and all, in summary, it's divided into 3 areas. This narrowest area will be vocal cord area. That vocal cord area is the narrowest junction. It's called the glottic area or the glottis. Above that area is like a conical like structure. Conical like structure, that area is called supraglottic area. Below that area is inverted conical like structure, that is called infraglottic or subglottic area. So the interior of the larynx is an hourglass appearance. It has got 3 areas. The narrowest area is called glottic area. Above that it's called supraglottic area. Below that is called infraglottic or the subglottic area. So the cavity of the larynx, mainly the inlet of the larynx, which I already told you, it's bounded in front by the epiglottis, behind by the arytenoid cartilages, on either side by aryepiglottic fold. Vestibule, the entry point where the vestibular fold is there, is called the vestibule. The junction between the vestibular fold and the vocal folds, there is a gap, and that gap is called the ventricle or the sinus of the larynx. This sinus of the larynx has got rich amount of mucus gland, that is to lubricate the vocal cord, to prevent the dryness of the vocal cord. Okay. So subglottic space is a space, it's also called infraglottic area, where it's below the vocal cord region. Vestibular fold or the false vocal fold, which doesn't move, it's a fold of mucous membrane, okay, covering the vestibular ligament. Vocal fold or the true vocal cord area This is white and sharp. It is lined by stratified squamous epithelium. It is the upper margin of the cricovocal membrane, and it is the one which moves and produces this voice. Hope you understood this cartilages and ligaments and the skeleton of the larynx. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel and press